Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Brothers who haven't spoken in 30 years both running for mayor of Ontario town. This is how much Ontario housing prices could fall from their peak. Man dead, another critical after shooting at Monkeypox Park. Monkeypox activity in Ontario peaked in July, top doctor says. 2 people injured after house fire in Bulletin. Police watchdog launches investigation after motorcyclist collides with TPS bike downtown. Awaz and is a hero. Tory signs book of condolences for slain Toronto officer.
These were the headlines and let's jump right into the detail.
2 brothers who haven't spoken to each other for about 30 years are now competing for a coveted position of mayor in an Ontario town. Up until the day before registration for the October 24th municipal elections closed, incumbent Bill Steele was running unopposed to Port Colborne, and then his brother signed up for the race, meaning there will be 2 Steeles on the ballot when residents go to the polls. I believe in democracy, Charles Steele told CTV News Toronto. If I hadn't have run, my brother would have been acclaimed. What's going to be the future? You're going to just start appointing people. That's not democracy. Charles said he hasn't spoken to his brother in about 30 years and did not discuss his intention to run against him beforehand, despite thinking about the decision for a few days prior to registration. I don't think he's happy about it, Charles added. Billy spent 17 years as a city councillor and was first elected mayor in 2018, says that while he was surprised to see his brother's name on the list of certified candidates, he was always ready to fight for a seat. I mean, we were ready for a campaign. He told CTV News Toronto, no matter who the candidate is or would be against us, then that's who are going to battle it out. In the last municipal election, Bill bet at 3 other competitors, earning 72 more votes than the runner-up. In total, 6,636 residents cast their ballot in 2018, representing a voter turnout of just under 43%. Neither brother seems particularly worried about any further familial strains come election day. Bill, for his part, has said he doesn't discuss his opponents on the campaign trail and that won't change. It is what it is, he said. We'll do what we normally do on campaign. We'll be happy when voting day comes and we let the polls. The GTA real estate market showed signs of life in August, with the average benchmark price rising for the first time in months, but a new report from RBC is warning that the correction isn't over yet. In a note to clients on Thursday, RBC Assistant Chief Economist Robert Hoke warned that anticipated interest rate hikes in the coming months will disqualify more buyers from obtaining a mortgage and shrink the size of a mortgage others can qualify for. We think the market will adjust to higher interest rates by early 2023. Any recovery will likely take a few months to tighten demand-supply conditions, placing the bottom of prices around springtime. He said, we expect benchmark prices will be down approximately 14% from the recent peak nationwide. On a provincial basis, we project Ontario and British Columbia to record the largest peak to trough declines at 16% and place Alberta and Saskatchewan at the other end of the scale at negative 4%. The GTA saw 5 straight months of declines in its home price index earlier this year, but in August, prices rose 2% month over month, prompting some to speculate that the market was beginning to stabilize. Hope, however, said that he expects that buyers will remain on defensive in the coming months as the Bank of Canada takes its policy rate deeper into restrictive territory. RBC has previously described the ongoing housing correction as historic and has suggested that it is likely to rank as the steepest correction of the past 5 national downturns. The Office of the Fire Marshal will be investigating the house fire in Bulletin that left 2 people injured. On Friday, fire crews responded to a blaze at the home on Winden Way near Highway 47 Gulf Line at around 1:15 a.m. Crews were met with smoke and flames billowing from the home. Halton police says an elderly man and woman were found with smoke inhalation. The woman also suffered burns and was airlifted to hospital, police said. Approximately 22 firefighters were at the scene at the peak of the blaze. The fire has since been knocked down. Bulletin Fire says the blaze originated in the living room. The fire marshal is expected to attend the scene later this morning to investigate. A man is dead and another in critical condition after a shooting at a park in Mimic on Thursday evening. Toronto police and paramedics were called to Mimic Waterfront Park in area of Mimico Avenue and Lakeshore Boulevard West at around 8:30 p.m. for reports of shots fired. Police said they also received reports of a fight between 15 to 20 males in park and a firearm was seen. When they arrived, police and paramedics located two men in their late teens or early 20s suffering from life-threatening injuries. Police said one of the victims, who sustained gunshot wounds, whose upper body was pronounced dead at the scene despite life-saving efforts. The second victim was rushed to a trauma center where he remains in critical condition. The homicide unit has taken over the investigation. Police have not released any information on possible suspects. We have had our K9 and ETF search the park for any suspects, and we have canvassed the area and have a large part of this park held off at this point as a scene for this shooting, said Duty Inspector Salim Hussain. We are early in the investigation, really have no indication as to how many suspects are involved. Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health says monkeypox activity in province has peaked. Dr. Kiran Moore says the province peaked in total number of active cases the week of July 15, when roughly 16 to 18 cases a day were being identified through PCR testing, while now that is down to only about one a day. Moore says most of those new cases are travel-related, particularly from American hotspots rather than people acquiring infection within Ontario. He says Ontario has immunized 32, 1 in 75 people against monkeypox and is waiting for National Advisory Committee on Immunization to provide guidance on if and how to start second dose strategy. As of this week, there have been 656 confirmed cases of monkeypox in Ontario. Monkeypox spreads when people have close physical contact with an infected person's lesions. Their clothing or bed sheets and systems can include rash, swollen limbs, nose, and fever. Ontario's progress is remarkable, Moore said, and the province has seen an absolute plateau. To me, risk has diminished dramatically in Ontario, he said in an interview. Public Health says 19 people have been hospitalized with illness in province and 2 people have been in intensive care. There are also 10 probable cases in Ontario. Mayor John Tory is recognizing the Toronto officer murdered in Monday's shooting rampage as a hero. Tory visited Toronto Police Headquarters Friday morning to sign a book of condolences for Constable Andrew Hong, who was killed at Tim Hortons in Mississauga when a gunman shot him at a point-blank range. I came both as an individual because I'm Torontonian like everybody else, and I felt that as a person that I wanted to express my sympathy particularly to his family, and this is one way in which you can record that, and to the police family as well. But of course I also came as mayor, Tory told reporters after signing the book. Hong, 48, worked for the Toronto Police Force for the past 22 years and was survived by his wife, 2 teenage children and parents. I indicated in the note first and foremost that Constable Hong was and is a hero, and then went on to say that I was here as a person to express my sympathy to his family, but was also here as mayor on behalf of the people of the city of Toronto who often can't find their way to here to express those sympathies to, he said. In a detailed news conference yesterday, police said the suspect was at the coffee shop for about 2 hours and 15 minutes prior to the shooting and was looking for a police officer. At this point, I believe the motive was that he was a uniformed officer and he was deliberately targeted, Peel Police Detective Michael Mavity said. The suspect was eventually located in Hamilton and pronounced deceased after an exchange of gunfire with police. The province's police watchdog is investigating. The gunman was identified as 40-year-old Sean Petrie of no fixed address. One book of condolences for Hong is available at Traffic Services located at 9 Hannah Avenue between September 15 to September 20th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The province's police watchdog has invoked its mandate after a motorcyclist collided with a Toronto police bicycle downtown earlier this week. It happened near King and Church Street at around 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday. The Special Investigations Unit says that 2 uniformed officers had some sort of interaction with the 22-year-old rider immediately before he crashed into one of their bicycles. The motorcyclist was thrown from his bike as a result of the impact and sustained serious injuries, the SIU said. The SIU has assigned 3 investigators and 2 forensic investigators to the case.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.